Hello, tribe, and welcome to another episode on our YouTube channel. I hope everybody is doing really well. I'm so excited to be here with each and every one of you, and today we're actually doing a story time, and this is my very first story time ever, but it's been on my mind to kind of share it with all of you, so let's start. So I love numerology. I am huge on numerology. Numerology is I love numbers. I'm always counting numbers in my head and I'm seeing numbers everywhere. I actually should do a video on that next. That's actually a really good idea. I should do a video on numbers. But so in my numerology, I did I went on an online thing and put in my name and everything like that, and then I got my numerology numbers, and my numbers are, so I'm born on the 3rd, so 3 is a big number for me, so 3 is one of my numbers, but in my numerology chart, 6 is my life path number, and then my other number is 1 and my other number is 11. So really my numbers are 3, 6, 1, 1, 1. And 11 is a master number. And in my numerology chart, it says that since I am a number 11, I am a natural manifester. And I never thought of myself that way. I never thought that I was a natural manifester until I started thinking that I have been a natural manifester since I was young, and I didn't realize it. So it's crazy. So I have a story for you guys. So I have always been really, really, really stubborn, okay? And as a kid, I had a lot of this feistiness about me since I was young. At 11 years old, I told my parents, you're gonna call me Zoe, that's my name, and if you call me anything else, I won't respond. And I was very and I've been having a stubborn attitude about a lot of things. And I realized that I actually was a natural manifester at such a young age, when I was in middle school. So I will tell you this story of how I actually manifested the school. In middle school, I manifested the high school that I always wanted to go to. Now, I grew up in the Valley, and sometimes we would go driving around and we would see this high school, and every time we would pass by it, I would look at it and I'd be I'm going to that school. I'm going to that school. And when my mom was driving me around, I would tell her, hey mom, I'm going to that school. And the reason I wanted to go to that school was because my dad went there. I'm a total daddy's girl. And I would be that would be so freaking cool if I went to the same high school that my dad went to. That would just be so freaking cool. And whenever I would pass by the school, it just it felt good to me, it felt right. And I was just I'm going to that school, that is my school that I'm going to. And my mom was no, you're not going to that school. No, you're not going to that school. But I was I am. I was I am going to that school. Watch me go. I did not let up on the idea that I was going to that school. Now, mind you, that was not my home school. So therefore, the chances of me going are very slim. Number one, my mom doesn't want me to go. So kind of I'm a minor. What really is my power? You know, it's not I'm an adult with a bunch of money and I can just go do whatever I want whenever I want to. So it's as a kid, my parent who is my authority, who is the reason why I get to do all the things that I get to do, is telling me no. So that was against me, right? My mom was not for this plan. She was not for it. So number one, no, she said no to me. Number two, it wasn't even my homeschool. So it's not even I had a freaking chance or an opportunity, you know, it was not it's not my home school. So it's not like it's like automatically by default I'm going to that school. Like there was like no logical way for me to go there. But I was determined. I was in my brain. I was like, there's no other option for me. That is the school I'm going to. And it's that confident determination, that fucking believing that really manifested it for me. So I had no idea how. I had no idea how I was going to go to that school. I just knew that I was going there, despite what my mom thought, despite that it wasn't my home school. And like in my brain, when I was younger, I was like, oh, well, maybe my parents, or maybe like I'll know somebody who lives in that area so that I can use their home address and like use it as my home address and say that that is my home school, blah, blah, blah. But it's not, you know, like I know a lot of people do that. So that's in my brain, that's the only how I knew about. But I was like, that didn't matter. I just knew, because I had one example. I had one example of a how. One example. And that was, oh, maybe I'll just use somebody else's address. But that wasn't the point. The point was that that one how just showed me that it was possible. I just knew that even though it seemed impossible for me, I knew that there was a possibility, that the possibility existed. Even though I didn't know exactly which possibility would be in my journey, I just knew it was possible. I just knew that even though my mom said no, even though it's not my home school, I just know one way or another, some freaking how, I'm gonna go to that school. And I just believed no matter what my outside world was saying, no matter what my mom was saying, I just freaking believed. And so let me tell you what happened. So here I am in middle school. I was in, I want to say like, okay, I think I was in 8th grade for sure. Like I was in 8th grade and there was an event at my middle school. So I participated in like Afro-Caribbean drumming. We did like winter like stuff, and I don't know, we did a lot of stuff in the auditorium room. So one day there was something going on in the auditorium room, and my mom was there. So I don't know if I performed, I can't remember, or maybe it was like a school fair. I don't know. I don't like really remember, but I just remember that we were in the auditorium, my mom was there, and I remember seeing this booth, this table that was from the school that I wanted to go to. And I was like, what are they doing here? So I was curious, and I went up to the table, and they're like, well, since your middle school is a magnet school, I went to a magnet performing arts school. This high school was also a freaking performing arts school. And they were like, we're here to see if anybody from this middle school wants to sign up to be in our magnet program, which means that, I don't know why I'm getting so, it means that even if you don't freaking live in the area and you get chosen, you can like come to the school even if it's not your freaking address. And like, I was like, holy shit. I don't know why I'm getting so emotional, because it's just like, it makes me feel so good that, oh, little me. Like, I love little me. I love older me, but I love little me. And I like, after I saw that, I literally like ran to my mom. I was like, hey mom. I was like, hey mom. I was like, look, that school I wanted to go to, they're doing this thing. I was like, can you please like sign up for it? Because obviously I couldn't sign up for it. I'm a minor. You really do need your parents' like permission and stuff. So my mom at first, she was probably like, no, you're not going to that school. And I was like, what could it hurt? Just sign up. They might not pick me. Like, I might not even get picked. I was like, are you kidding me? There's going to be like hundreds of people, and not just from this middle school. I'm pretty certain that they went to tons of other middle schools and had like hundreds, if not thousands of kids on their freaking list. Oh my God, why am I crying? I'm getting like so emotional. I'm just like, I'm so happy, you know? I have like so many emotions. So as the little badass that I was, I convinced my mom to freaking sign up. Okay? And then I forgot about it in a way. I wasn't so like obsessed about it like every day. Oh my God, I can't wait till they call me. I can't wait till they call me. I literally was like, okay, we signed up for it. And then I just like let it go. So I almost literally I forgot about it. And months went by and it was like a little bit before the summer, because obviously school starts in September, right? And then you're out of school during summer vacation. How great was that? I missed that time so much. And we got a phone call. And I think it was like a voicemail, and it said that I was freaking, I was like number 3, which is one of my favorite numbers. I was number 3 on the waiting list, and the other kids dropped out, and they didn't want to, why am I crying, dude? And I'm like literally crying. Can you see this? I'm literally crying and messing up my makeup. And so they literally called and left a voicemail saying that I was number 3 on the waiting list, and then those kids that were there like didn't want their fucking part, so they probably went and went to another school. But I was like, oh my God. I was like so excited. I was so like, no fucking way, no way. I don't know how I did that. There she is. But I did it. And my mom then decided, now she was like not okay with the idea of me going there, right? She didn't want me to go there, but then she was like, you know what? It's the magnet program, so therefore I won't be with like the majority of the population, because this school is the hugest LAUSD campus that there is. And so, it's like a ton of people go to that school, but me being in the magnet program meant that I was like a little bit in our own like section, and I was in the performing arts magnet, which is like also a dream come true. I literally, when I knew that I wanted to go to that school, I did not know that it was a performing arts school. I was just like, it's my dad's school, I want to go to that school. And that was an even like better surprise. And I just like knew, like, I don't know, I just knew that I was meant to go there. And I ended up doing theater in that class. I later ended up doing like commercial acting classes and lessons. And then later on did cheerleading and like met one of my best friends. Oh, manifesting part 2. I wasn't going to tell you the second story, but I am going to tell you the second story. But let's just like go over really quickly what my child little self did. I felt something inside of me. It felt really good, and it was better than imagined, because not only was it my dad's school, it was a performing arts school, which is like obviously the direction that I am in. Like, I'm meant to do those types of things. Like, I'm a very animated person. I obviously like being on camera. I like being behind a microphone with my podcast and everything like that. So it was like perfect for me. And so I felt something. It felt really good. I made a decision. I decided that I was going to go to that school no matter what. I decided it. I believed it, even if the whole entire world didn't give me a reason to really believe it. I believed it unconditionally no matter what. I just knew that it was going to happen, but the how was none of my freaking business. The how was not my job to figure out how that would happen. And then the freaking universe provided. So you hold the energy, you feel the feeling, you believe it, you know it's going to happen no matter what, even if it doesn't seem like it. And then the universe will provide you with a way to do it, and then you need to take action. Once you see the opportunity come up, you need to take action, and therefore then you will soon manifest what you were there to manifest. So that was amazing. And that makes me so happy. And then the second thing that I manifested was So when I went to that high school, there was like orientation, right? And I saw this girl. Now, high school was like big for me because in my younger years, like definitely, this is gonna sound weird, but from like kindergarten or from preschool until 4th or 5th grade, I was in like a private school, and it wasn't a great experience for me personally. I'm sure like the education was way overpriced and I think like not worth it. And then the kids at the school, now I did have a best friend in that school and I did make some good friends. Like there were some good people there, but majority of my classmates, like I ended up making older friends because they were nicer, or I had that one best friend, and the majority of the kids would make fun of me, put me down. Like me and my best friend were the only two people that were picked on really in our whole grade. So I spent years of getting picked on. Like I'm not even kidding. And I would go see like therapy like every freaking day. Like my childhood was not like the best childhood, and maybe one day I'll do a story time like deeper on that. But so since elementary school wasn't that great, in middle school I finally figured out like how to like have good friends, and I wasn't getting made fun of anymore because I got out of the private school and I went to public school, thank God. And then, so high school was like important to me, and like it was like a big deal. It's high school, and like you have to be like popular, or like I did not, like, you know what I mean? Like I had like an idea or a vision, I guess, of what I wanted my high school to be like, what type of friends I wanted, the things I wanted to do and experience and whatever. So when we went to orientation with my mom, I saw this girl like far away, and she was with her mom. And I was like, in my brain, I was like, I want friends like that. I was like, when I go to high school, that I want a friend that like looks like her, talks like her. I didn't even know her. I was just like, she was so cute. Like I think she was like wearing Abercrombie and Fitch, and that was like a thing back then. Whoever is born in the 90s and like grew up, they freaking know what I'm talking about. You guys know what I'm talking about. So I don't know, she was just like, yeah. And I remember seeing her briefly for orientation and just having that idea like, oh, I want to have friends like her in high school. And then me being the little smart little kid I was, I enrolled. So before school actually started in September, I decided that I would start summer school early. So I actually started high school in the summertime before September because, one, I wanted to get used to the campus and everything around me. I didn't want to be like that loser on the first day of school because I was bullied before. Like I didn't want to be like, I didn't want to give any like reasons to be like made fun of. So I wanted to like know my shit, and I wanted to know the school, know where I was. I wanted to have an advantage to like all the other kids that were just coming in September and not knowing what the hell was going on. So I decided to take like a life skills and health class or something, which are like super easy classes. And, and I figured like maybe I can make friends before the school starts so that I'm not like alone and a loser. Do you see where my motivation came from? So, I shit you not, I walked into that classroom and I saw two things. One, this girl that I knew from my middle school. Now, we weren't friends. We weren't really close at all. But like we recognized each other, we knew each other, and that was better than not knowing anybody ever. So like when I walked in, I saw her, and then guess who she was already talking to and sitting next to? That girl I wanted to be friends with. Not that I specifically wanted to be friends with her, but I wanted friends like her, but I didn't know that I was also kind of like manifesting her into my life. And I was like, what? I was like, hold up. So that girl that I know is actually talking to the girl that I want to know. I was like, this is so perfect. I was like, I'm going to so be friends with her. Like, that's it. Like, we're friends. And to this day, we are still friends. Like, we don't talk every day, but we are still good friends, and we still love each other. And it's like crazy because it's been, I don't know, I've known her since I was like 14 or something. And I'm like 29 now. So it's like 15 years. It's pretty good. So so it was crazy, but like I totally somehow manifested her into my life because I just believed that, like, yeah, I deserve friends like that. I'm worthy of having friends like that. Those are the type of friends I wanted. I decided it, and I believed I could have it, and I didn't like force it or put too much pressure on it, and I just kind of like let it go and let it be. And then our friendship started, and at first the three of us were friends, and then the girl I knew from middle school, she was not really our vibe. Like, we were like trying to be over here and stuff like that. So then we just kind of like naturally just stopped being friends because our interests were different. And then, yeah, and then me and her ended up being like best friends for a while. And then obviously, like, I mean, now do you have like best friends when you're an adult? Like, is that a thing? She actually moved to Seattle. You know, she moved a lot. Like, she moved to San Francisco after high school, moved to Seattle. So it's like, but I still went to visit her and things like that, but it's not like an everyday thing. But yeah, this is my manifestation story of how I manifested things at a young age, and I didn't even realize what I was doing until I got older, like at this age, and I'm learning to like manifest again, but I didn't realize that like I naturally was a freaking manifester. My little stubborn, cute little self was manifesting at such a young age, and I didn't even know that I was doing it. So there it is. That's my story. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Just remember that just something feels good and you know it in your heart and you believe it no matter what circumstances are around you. And just keep believing it, keep believing it, keep believing it, keep knowing it, keep deciding it, keep being confident about your decision, and wait for the opportunity from the universe to take action, and then take action and make it a reality. So I'm gonna leave you guys with that. I hope you all have an amazing, safe day. I love you all, I light you all, and I life you all. Until next time, tribe.